Let's do a problem from your lab assignment, section 2.1. This is problem number 3. Find an equation of a line passing through the given points. And the points are 1, 1 and 6, comma, negative 2/3. The equation of a line can be given by the point slope formula. If we have a slope m and passing through a point x1, y1, then we can do this. But we need to know what the slope is, and m happens to be the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. So if we take our 2 points and find the slope, we can find the difference in the y's. So this is y2 minus, and then the y1 here is just going to be 1, divided by the difference in the x's. So the x2 is 6, and then the y2, and then the x1, sorry, is 1. And then it looks like they chose this point 1, 1 to be their point. So we have a y minus 1, so that's the y value of the point. And then x minus, and then the x value of the point is 1. So that's just going to be 1. So now that we have that, we can just solve for this. It might be good to see this written out, so let's do that. Okay, so let's get it written out this way, and then it looks like they want us to simplify it so that simplify the slope and write an equation of a line passing through these points. So we have to simplify the slope. We have negative 2/3 minus 1, so 1 is like 3/3 if we write it like that, and then so that's going to be negative 5/3. 2 minus 3 is 5, and then same denominator. So let's write it out like that. And then here we have 6 minus 1, which is equal to 5. And then if we multiply this by the reciprocal, that's negative 5/3 times 1/5, and then so the 1/5 would cancel. So I think all in all, this is just going to be a negative 1/3. I suppose we can leave it like that. We can bring the 1 on the other side and write it as a point slope formula. We can distribute the negative 1/3. So this would be negative 1/3 x, and then negative 1/3, and the negative 1 is positive 1/3. And then we'll add 1 to both sides. So let's add 1 to both sides. And then now this is like adding 3/3. That's going to give you 4/3 for your constant or your y-intercept. So we can write it a bunch of different ways. I will try to write it like this point slope form with a simplified slope. So I have y minus 1 is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 1, and if it takes it, then we're all good. And I think that's good. If it didn't take it, then we could have rewritten the slope-intercept form, then that would have worked too. Okay, the last part is to sketch the line. The line has a slope that's negative 3 or negative 1/3. So it's going to be decreasing, so it's going to be one of these two possibilities on the right side. And then we can find the y-intercept. Well, fortunately we found it here. It looks like the y-intercept is positive 4/3. So if you look at where these things cross, this y-intercept crosses at positive 4/3. This looks like it might be crossing at negative. So let's go ahead and select this graph, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that looks good. And that's it. I hope that helps.